Welcome to Bathroom Book Reviews, where I review books in my bathroom bi-weekly. Hey, it's CJ, and today's book review is Dracula. Alright, so Dracula. The book is split up mostly into diary entries, where we, the audience, get to see the story unfold from multiple perspectives, which is kind of cool in my opinion. So think Game of Thrones, like you have Daenerys in one section, then you have Tyrion and Jon Snow. Yeah, Bram Stoker did that before George R.R. Martin. So the main characters we get to see in the story are Jonathan Harker, which is a pretty swell guy, then Mina Murray, Dr. Seward, I believe that's how you pronounce last name, and Lucy Westenra. So the story begins following Jonathan Harker. He's traveling to meet Count Dracula, and, we all know Dracula, a vampire, but he doesn't know it yet, and everyone's, warning him, don't go to Castle Dracula, you're gonna die, and he's just like, oh, you silly commoners. You should have taken their advice. But anyways, Jonathan is a solicitor. He is supposed to go and see the Count to help him move to London, because apparently Dracula, he wants to go to London, and he's, hiring some people to help him out. So, yeah, Jonathan's helping him, finish filing the last paperwork. The locals, yeah, basically, telling him don't go. They're like, don't do it, cross, it's evil. And these Eastern Europe, and there are a few things that happen which would be considered spooky when he gets, he actually meets Dracula and gets into Dracula's castle. It's dark and stormy. There's wolves howling, and there's no one around except for Dracula, and you'll only meet him at night. You can see where this is going. Yeah, by today's standards, it still would be considered spooky in my opinion. So yeah, the first 4 chapters of the book are just Jonathan's interactions with Dracula. And, Dracula, he comes off as, this sophisticated, swell guy, and Jonathan's like, oh, he's nice. Yeah, it's this can't go wrong. Excuse me. The story, will eventually progress, and we think Jonathan might be dead in the very beginning, because he starts seeing some spooky stuff, and I'm not going to get into the details, but eventually we get to see his fiance's perspective, Mina Murray. And Mina is a pretty cool character, if I do say so. If I do say so myself. I'm getting tongue twisted again. And we get to see her best friend, Lucy Westenra. Mina's best friend. We also get to meet Dr. Seward, who is, I'm saying Seward, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but anyways, Dr. Seward is my favorite character. That guy is just all around cool. With Dr. Seward, we eventually also get to meet Van Helsing, and you've probably heard about Van Helsing before. And I'm going to tell you this, a lot of TV and movies, they get Van Helsing completely wrong, and it's sad how wrong they get Van Helsing. It's really sad. Van Helsing, he doesn't get the credit he deserves in TV and movies. They just get the character completely wrong. But anyways, when the Count comes to London, spooky things start happening, like Lucy, she starts, sleepwalking more, and, I'm not going to go too far into spoilers, but she starts losing some blood, let's just say. So eventually, everyone meets up, and they get together, and they're like, okay, we gotta stop Dracula, the bad guy, whoo. Alright, so that's just kind of a simple plot of the story. I just want to give you a quick warning. Dracula is a long book. The version I got from Barnes & Noble. It is 400 pages long. So if you're not up for reading a 400-page book, this might not be for you, but I do recommend giving it a shot. I can't stress it enough, though. This is long. But yeah, if you want to challenge yourself and read an older, longer book, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. That's completely your prerogative. Yeah, with Dracula, comparing it book to film, there's no good adaptation. If you've seen the old Dracula film with, oh man, what was the guy's name? I'm a movie buff, and it just, Bela Lugosi, that's it. Bela Lugosi. Yeah, that's a complete and utter crap. That movie is terrible compared to the book. I mean, like, they change characters' relationships. It's like two people who are dating in the book. It's like the movie changed it to like father and daughter. It's just weird. They completely get rid of, well, they completely change Lucy's arc in the book, from the book. And Renfield he's one of the crazy guys in Dracula. Dr. Seward is a mental doctor, and during late 1800s, and Renfield is his patient. And Renfield, I mean, you've probably heard the name before, but Renfield is a very entertaining character. That guy, I mean, oh man, just him and Dr. Seward, that should have just been a book on its own, because those two, how they play off of each other, it's perfect. Seriously, it is amazing between Renfield and Dr. Seward. You still get a little sympathy for Renfield at some parts of the book, but yeah, Dr. Seward is the best. I want to talk a little bit about Van Helsing, though, and how they get it wrong. So there's going to be a little minor spoilers, probably, just on his personality. So you'll see a lot in movies and TV shows whenever they show Van Helsing. They're like, he's this like gruff guy, he's gonna go and beat up Dracula, and he's like, he doesn't take no prisoner kind of a deal, like the old Van Helsing movie with, crap, I forgot his name. It came out in the early 2000s anyways. My mind's just going blank today. But anyways, yeah, Van Helsing, it always shows him he's either has like a gruff attitude, stuff like that for him. But in the book, Van Helsing is the nicest character I have ever read in all of fiction. I mean, like, this guy would be like, hey, can I chop off your wife's head? I mean, she might be a vampire, but please, sir, it's for the good of society, and if you want me to stop at any point, I will. I beg you for forgiveness, and I won't do it if you do not want me to. He's just so much manners, even when he's like, yeah, I want to cut off that person's head because they're a vampire. He just says it in the nicest way, and it's like, man, that guy's polite. Even if he's saying something completely, we would find, disgusting or something, he says it in the most polite way. Seriously, I've never read a more polite character than Van Helsing. Van Helsing is just one of those characters that's like, wait, all those books, well, not books necessarily, but all the movies and TV shows were lying to me about Van Helsing? No, seriously, he's an entertaining character. He's very knowledgeable, and he's just all around, overall, a nice guy, even when he isn't talking about, like, killing vampires, cutting off their heads, and all that stuff. He's just, like, so polite. Seriously, this guy needs more credit in books. And, TV shows, movies, they need to give this, he needs to be nicer. He's just a very nice guy. But it's just, it's crazy just how much they get that character wrong. I love Van Helsing, and yeah, they really didn't do him justice in like any TV show or movie. They've never done Van Helsing justice. And yeah, it is a long book, but it is worth reading. I really do recommend reading Dracula. It's just one of those classics. If you like horror, if you like the old gothic style, it is long, and the book is a little too long, to be honest. Like I said, my edition is 400 pages, and Bram Stoker could have cut this 50 pages. This should be a 350-page book, not a 400-page book. He does drag out a couple scenes. That is a con for Dracula, because there are a couple pages where it's like just nothing's happening. And Dracula really isn't much in the book. He's in it very beginning, very end, and a little bit in the middle. He's more indirectly influencing people in London in the middle, but it is worth checking out the book still. It's not a detractor, and the spooky stuff that does happen, it does get kind of spooky in some areas, especially in the beginning with the imagery, and Bram Stoker, he did a fine job. Like I said, I think you should have just cut the book about 50 pages, but I strongly recommend reading Dracula at some point in your life. It's just one of those classics. It's like, hey, I've read Dracula, Not many people actually do read the book, they just see the movies. But it is worth reading Dracula, and then you can put on your hipster glasses and just be like, well, I read the book. You know, you can be that guy, you know, in comment sections and stuff, but Dracula does need more appreciation as a book. And yeah, this book deserves more love than it's getting. So anyways, I give the book a 4.5 out of 5. And I have a blog post in the description talking, you know, just giving my initial review. I reviewed this once on my blog months ago. So you can go click on that and check out the original review, which I read, well, a large chunk of it for this review. But it's still pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to give the book 4.5 out of 5, just because it could have been cut a little bit down to size, a few pages, about 50. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on Dracula, if you've read the book. Just tell me what you thought of it. I enjoyed it, like I said, few cons, but overall pretty good. So yep, 4.5 out of 5, and see you later, guys, and stay creative.